folks, thanks for joining me. Right, so what I want to do is I want to do a series of videos for my channel. Basically it's going to be a sort of back to basics, so for any sort of novices or DIYers out there that haven't really sort of got much idea about it but really want to go into it, because obviously when you look into things it can be quite daunting. So I just wanted to do a back to basics and just go over a lot of the basic tools. May do some sort of basic techniques if you want. Let me know. Obviously I can sort of do what you want really, because I'm here to sort of please you lot. So yeah, hopefully you'll like them and I'll do a bit more. So this time, as you can see, I want to do it on saws, mainly hand saws. And then I'll probably do one on sort of power assisted saws then. So I think what we'll do is we'll crack on and we'll start straight off with this. This is a basic handsaw. Come in different sort of sizes, different shapes, but this is your basic sort of handsaw. When you go to buy a saw, you'll get a TPI, which is teeth per inch, and that will sort of tell you what the sort of cut is. So sort of to relate it maybe to the sort of blades, if you have any sort of power tools, the more teeth, the sort of finer the cut, sort of the same sort of thing. So you know, you'll have sort of 12 TPI, 8 TPI, then that's sort of 8 teeth per inch. So for every inch of this, for every inch you'll get 8 sort of teeth on it. This is quite a coarse one, this is quite a rough cut, and I use this just for literally ripping anything sort of in half, just to sort of rough dimensions before I get it on the miter saw to get it to sort of final sizes and a nicer cut. You've got this one as well. This is a handsaw. This has got 13 teeth per inch, so it's a nice fine cut. And if you can see, it's got teeth on the edge as well, because I think this was classed as a floorboard saw, so I think it's for cutting underneath sort of architraves and getting the flooring in. That's what that little edge is for on the end of it there. You don't normally have that on them, but this is quite a fine cut, so I use this for sort of cutting stuff that I don't want much tear out on. But yeah, it's a really nice saw. It's a Stanley Fat Max. I've had it for years now, so it does what I need, and it's quite a nice saw. What else have we got? Right, this one here, this is a nice little delicate saw. This is called a flush cutting saw or a flush trimmed saw. Let me see if it tells you on here. I think this is 17 teeth per inch on this one. So as the numbers go higher, obviously the inch it's getting a finer cut, and this saw is quite flexible. And what this is for, see if I've got something here. So what this is for, if you used to get a piece of timber and you'd have, say, a dowel coming out of there, you can get your saw and you can push it down and really cut along that without marking the edge, and it gives you a nice fine cut. Just whiz over that with a sander and then you'll have a nice flush cut on that. That's a really nice nice little saw. You can take the blade out as well and change it. It comes with a spare blade as well. This is actually an even finer cut. This is a 22 teeth per inch, so that's even finer. But that, you just literally push the button, push it in, and then you've got a nice little handsaw there. And you can do obviously it's quite flexible, so you won't want to do straight cuts really with that. It's more for flush cutting dowels and getting stuff cut down to the surface without sort of damaging it really. But I got that from Lidl. I think it was about £6.99. And like I say, I only went in for a loaf of bread and I come out with a saw. So yeah, that's a really good little saw. This this is, I believe, or I was told, this is sort of like a take on the Japanese pull saw. This one, you can change the blades on these as well. You just flick that up and the blade comes out, and you can change them, so you don't have to sort of buy a new saw all the time. A handle, sorry. You can just use the same handle. And this has just got that many uses. I've used it for flush cutting because it's got a bit of flex in the blade. I use it for cutting down boards, ripping them. Not complete boards, just like bits off them. You can use it for cutting tenants, like the cheeks on tenants. It's really is a great saw. So get one of those because they're quite versatile. Get one of those as well because everybody uses, needs, has one of those. What else have we got on the wood side? This is called a coping saw. They do another one as well. It's called a fret saw. I think it's just got a bit of a bigger sort of mouth here. And what this is for I mean, I don't know if anybody knows, you can get a machine called a scroll saw, and that does really fine, intricate sort of curves and that in timbers. This, within reason, does exactly the same. So you wouldn't necessarily do nice straight cuts with it, but if you was wanting to do a curve, cut a curve out, this would cut it around nicely, and this would give you the sort of area to spin around and do that sort of cut with. And I use this every single time I make a radiator cover, because I have to cut out the skirting board, the clearance for the skirting board, sorry. And I don't put a straight cut because I think that looks horrible, so I put a nice little arch cut on it. And I use that. I actually use, I use that for ripping down the length of the skirting board, and then I use this just for cutting around that nice little curve. And it's details like that in joinery that makes the joiner, I think. Just taking that little extra few minutes just to do that, rather than a straight cut up like that. It just looks like, you know, you haven't took much time. This is what I think anyway. So take it as you will, but brilliant saw. Really do like that one. What else have we got? So this one now, this is out of the wood zone. This is a hacksaw. This was given to me by my dad, but he doesn't know it yet. And this is for cutting metal. You can get these in different sizes. That one, that's called a junior hacksaw, and this is its daddy, the big hacksaw. Change the blade. You just unscrew that sort of wing nut there, pop the blade out, and yeah, cutting metal. You wouldn't want to be cutting thick metal really, because it would take you a bloody long time. But you know, it's just for trimming, maybe a few bolts off that need trimming, or if you've got any sort of angle iron as well. If you've got any sort of bit of angle iron you want trimming, they're brilliant little saws for that. So yeah, as you can see, obviously when you look into it, really, there's quite a lot of saws on the market, and they all sort of state to do different things. There is certain saws for certain jobs. Obviously, if you're like me, you would go for the power option, because I'm a bit lazy. You know, you wouldn't want to be ripping a sheet of MDF with that, because it would take you forever, and you'd have an arm like Popeye. So yeah, but there's loads of saws. You've just really got to go out there, sort of ask for advice, because there's a lot of people out there that will help as well. And if you don't know, obviously just drop me a message and I'll give you some advice if I can. But yeah, I mean, basically I'd get one of those, because that's a standard handsaw. Everybody's got one, and I think everybody uses it and needs one. There's a few other bits you probably you'll probably never use one of these if you don't do any of the work that it's sort of made for. But then again, it's always nice to have them, isn't it? So that's really sort of the basics on the saws that I wanted to go into. If there is any sort of thing I can help with, just drop me a comment down there, and I will try and obviously answer it to the best of my knowledge and the best I can. I hope you do enjoy this video. It's only a quick one just to sort of go over the basics. I can do sort of I'll go through all the sort of basic tools, squares, chisels, that sort of thing, because there is a few little options out there for people, and it may sort of scare them a little bit. So that's the basics. I hope you like it. Please, if you haven't, do subscribe, because I've got a giveaway at the minute. I don't know where it is. Here we go. Da, 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 da. I'm giving this away at the minute. You've just got to subscribe to my channel. So if you're subscribing anyway, you might as well pop a comment in the in this video for this mallet. Pop a comment. I'll give you a number, and just listen to the video, and it tells you how or when it will get drawn for the winner. It's a lovely white oak mallet. Hope somebody in the UK wins it, and somebody on the Woodworking UK page. If you're not on there, get on there. It's an absolute brilliant page. It's an absolute brilliant page. Everybody is so helpful, and yeah, you know, it's a really nice page, posting your work. We all love it, so get on there if you're not on there, and if you're into woodworking, you know, get on there. So yeah, like I keep saying, I hope you enjoyed it. If you do, give it a thumbs up. If not, give it a thumbs down. Just let me know, and then I can sort of work on it. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, I'll see you on the flip side.